has nothing to do with trying to reinforce my worldview and me pushing my politics. This has absolutely nothing to do with politics. I've always liked women's basketball.
Stop it. Get some help.
Welcome to the second consecutive edition of Who Raised Y'all? My name is Reese Waters. This is where we highlight those individuals going above and beyond to make our world a worse place. The kind of people you'll see asking to speak to the manager at the pearly gates. You know, it only seems like yesterday we were right here talking about Laura Loomer bringing up Tim Walz's family.
Donald Trump knows he cannot win on his own because he knows as well as we do that he is a loser.
So help me with the math, Maga. I'm just trying to understand this. So your presidential nominee himself having family that will drag him for filth is not significant. Justice Thomas and Justice Roberts' activism and impropriety is not significant. The activism work of their wives is not significant, but you want to holler at me about Jeff Walz? Who raised y'all? If we want to talk about vice presidents, I got one for you.
Come as no surprise that I will not be endorsing Donald Trump this year.
Oh, it was? It was yesterday? Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Let's keep it all the way MAGA then. See, this all started when Taylor Swift committed the eternal sin of endorsing Kamala Harris. MAGA, they didn't take her doing her civic duty and encouraging others to do the same so well.
But the other thing about all this is what makes you think that the way you think should influence other people. You sing for a living. Just deal with that.
You know what? I actually agree with Janine.
Finally, this is what I love about this guy. This guy is a great drunk driver.
Absolutely nobody should take advice from the third bar stool. But somehow, Janine still wasn't the most hurt.
I'm allowed to criticize Taylor Swift, and I don't give a who gets upset. This is disgusting. If she wants to vote Harris Walz, she can do it all she wants. But to say the reason she's doing it is because of Tim Walz's stance on LGBTQ, F you, Taylor Swift.
Hey, Dana want to take this one? All right, you got it, Dana.
Aw, folks, Megyn Kelly's having a hard time. Well, probably not as hard a time as she had when she got booted from ABC for defending blackface Halloween costumes. But still, she's feeling a little tender right now. Yeah, she's pissed at the ABC debate moderators for fact-checking the Orange Savior. She said it was an ambush. You know, like how the National Spelling Bee contestants are ambushed when they're corrected on their spelling. How dare we hold our candidates to a standard beyond second-grade fibbing? Well, in case you didn't know, Megyn Kelly is now a staunch conservative, which means she says misogynistic shit like Kamala slept her way to the top, and she has the coveted history of waving off Orangina's attacks and saying, "Please, sir, may I have some more?" Yeah, remember how she transformed into a Barbie prototype after realizing the short hair was making good-paying customers think she was a demon-crat? Well, I'm sure by now you've heard that Megyn's not a fan of Taylor Swift. And she's certainly not a fan of Taylor Swift being so darn popular without having to use assholery to win fans. Yeah. Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris, and Megyn Kelly's head kind of exploded. On Megyn's show, she said, "You can kiss your sales to the Republican audience goodbye, Taylor. Hope you liked them while you had them." Oh, Megyn, that's kind of sweet. In the same way a 5-year-old would say, "I'm running away because you won't let me eat dirt for breakfast." And Mom would say, "Okay, honey, I'll be here when you get back." Of course, Megyn says she's mad at Taylor because Taylor said she likes Tim Walz for standing up for LGBTQ plus rights, IVF, and a woman's right to her own body. How dare he, right? Megyn said, if she wants to vote Harris Walz, she can do it all she wants, but to say the reason she is doing it is because of Tim Walz's stance on LGBTQ, F you, Taylor Swift, and F all of the people who want to see those children have body parts chopped off and watch them sterilized under the age of consent, and then will ride off to their multi-gazillion-dollar mansions never to think of them again. Whew, that's pure MAGA, right, folks? Long gone is the Megyn who aspired to be a real girl. I mean a real newscaster. Megyn's gone to the sexy but stupid side because smart girls finish last with the kind of people who butter Megyn's bread now. Now, folks, let's be real about Megyn Kelly. She's dastardly, but she's not stupid. In no universe does Megyn Kelly believe the bullshit she's dishing. In no universe does Megyn Kelly believe that thinking people believe that she actually believes this stuff. Megyn Kelly made the calculated choice a long time ago to abandon reason for financial return and recognition. After all, it's easy to be the prettiest pig in the pigsty. Much harder to stand out when cleaner animals are in the barn. And really, Megyn Kelly is just a manifestation of shock and awe culture. And the easiest way to shock and awe is to say shocking and awful things about the most popular pop star on the globe. I suppose we'll just have to wait and see how cash-strapped Megyn really is. If she starts crowing about Haitians eating pets, I guess we'll know. Well, Megyn, have a day. Have a day.
Oh, you know what? I want in too. How about the time she said
Taylor Swift just endorsed Kamala Harris. Taylor Swift, yeah. She posts a picture of herself with her cat. Would you look at this? You can, of course. Like, you can kiss your sales to the Republican audience goodbye, Taylor. Hope you enjoyed them while you had them.
Now, this is the part where I wonder how she even has a platform. Here she is just saying stuff. Taylor Swift has been an outspoken left-wing advocate for her entire career, pretty much. I'm trying to figure out exactly who are these right-wing Taylor Swift supporters that were okay with her advocating against Trump in 2016. They were okay for her endorsing Biden in 2020. But the third time, no, that's too far. You can't. I will let you oppose my ideals for 2 presidential election cycles, but the third one is just unforgivable. I don't care that you said shake it off. Now, I think it's pretty clear that Taylor Swift does in fact have right-wing supporters. And they must have made their peace with Taylor Swift's politics a whole long time ago. I was totally fine for her going against Trump, but not for a black woman. Megyn Kelly, try harder. That is so dumb. I bet Trump said it too.
Out of nowhere, after the debate last night, Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris. What do you think?
Well, I actually like Mrs. I actually like Mrs. Mahomes much better, if you want to know the truth. She's a big Trump fan. I was not a Taylor Swift fan. It was just a question of time. She couldn't. You couldn't possibly endorse Biden. You look at Biden, you couldn't possibly endorse him. But she's a very liberal person. She seems to always endorse a Democrat. And she'll probably pay a price for it.
This got to be the dumbest thing that MAGA has done since they made the fake AI Taylor Swift endorsements and started all this in the first place. Special congratulations to Britney Mahomes, by the way, for finding a home in MAGA. I wish I could say the same for MAGA, but you know what? Y'all are stuck with her now. Yeah, just like Patrick Mahomes. Oh, MAGA is going to regret that in the morning. Do you know how long we've been trying to feel decent about Britney Mahomes? She's your problem now. Now, I know this is going to sound crazy, but even Megyn Kelly didn't have the worst take on this.
This whole Britney Mahomes deal and her liking the Trump deal really brought into focus for me how much better looking Britney Mahomes is than Taylor Swift. People recognize that Britney Mahomes is much better looking than Taylor Swift. I think Britney's beauty is underrated. She's kind of like Melania Trump in terms of, yeah, Melania Trump's been on no magazine covers, and we all pretend like Jill Biden and Michelle Obama are Victoria's Secret models. That's kind of what Britney Mahomes is, and Taylor Swift is Michelle Obama.
Now, once you get past the part about Jason Whitlock commenting on somebody else's appearance.
And going back to Whitlock, I don't think he can comment on anything but snacks.
Jason Whitlock got to be the #1 overall draft pick for people you actively prefer find you unattractive. Like, you don't even want your name in his mouth, which got to be nastier than a Mar-a-Lago makeover. But this man is trying to convince us of how much more attractive Britney Mahomes is. Well, that's convenient. I would expect you would be more attracted to the woman that is relevant, rich, and famous because her proximity to relevance, riches, and fame, as opposed to the woman who worked for everything that she has. That really is the Maga way now, isn't it? But that's not even what this is about. Everything Whitlock does is so sloppy and obvious. You know, Kerry Washington just don't do it for me, but I tell you, that Michaela Montgomery, I think AOC is extremely overrated, but you know who can get it? That Laura Loomer. I can't wait to see his opinion of Nicky Jam.
Latin music superstar Nicky Jam. Do you know Nicky? She's hot. Where is Nicky? Where is Nicky? Thank you, Nicky. Great to be having you here. Now you have to get, oh, look. Come here. Come here. I'm glad he came up.
Bro, this is embarrassing at this point, you motherfucker supporting that piece of garbage who doesn't even know who you are. He had no fucking clue. He thought you were some hot chick from a porn movie.
Whitlock is so shameless, sloppy, and transparent. He gotta be the sloppiest right-winger since Laura Ingraham.
It's always unwise to seek political advice from someone who gets paid $100 million a year to bounce a ball. Oh, and LeBron and Kevin, you're great players, but no one voted for you. Millions elected Trump to be their coach. So keep the political commentary to yourself, or as someone once said, shut up and dribble.
A few moments later.
Well, he's allowed to have his view about what kneeling and the flag means to him. I mean, he's a person. He has some worth, I would imagine. I mean, this is beyond football, though.
Now into MAGA darling and Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark. Now, I call her the MAGA darling, and that is thanks to nothing that she has said or done, just all of the people that use her as a proxy to fight their culture wars. See, there's a whole continuum of Caitlin Clark fans to Caitlin Clark enemies. You got people who absolutely love Caitlin Clark just because she's white. You have people who hate Caitlin Clark just because she's white. You have a bunch of people that are somewhere in the middle. I'm in the position of really admiring the way that she plays basketball, yet at the same time hating that all of her victories, all of her records, all of her incredible athletic ability is being co-opted in the service of nonsense garbage MAGA politics. Which is really unfortunate because it makes me root against her thanks to no efforts of her own. She hasn't actually done anything, but I hate anything that makes those people happy. Yet at the same time, the fact that she has yet to attract or court these people in any way, the fact that she has gone about her business of just playing basketball, and at every opportunity where they try to toss her some bait to pick a side, she has decided that she's not going to, is extremely impressive, and it makes me root for her all the more. Well, Caitlin Clark has committed the eternal sin of liking a post on social media by Taylor Swift in support of Kamala Harris after Tuesday's presidential debacle between her and former President Donald Trump. And MAGA lost their minds.
So, Caitlin Clark liked Taylor Swift's post endorsing Kamala Harris, and now her comments on Instagram look like this. Just threw away my jersey, hashtag Trump 2024. I noticed you liked Taylor Swift endorsement posts of Camille and Tampon Tim. I figured you were more based and more aware. Bummer. Just play basketball and build your brand, a brand that the entire country can love. Stay out of politics. Your brand will suffer. You are young. Ask your close friends and family for advice. Definitely should have stayed out of politics, Caitlin Clark. Love watching you, but now I refuse after seeing you support Taylor Swift and Kamala. Please don't get sucked into politics. Taylor Swift is fully endorsing candidates that want to allow children to be surgically or chemically treated to change their bodies permanently without parental consent. Do your own research. Think she's a phenomenal entertainer and talent otherwise. We lost another great baller, one of the best I've seen as a woman. I only started watching because of her outstanding skills, but now she's involved in the politics of the Democrats. I'm moving on to something else. You are a female athlete. Why would you support a party that are allowing men to play women's sports? You just couldn't keep your politics out of sports. You've lost millions of supporters. Trump 2024. Dang, supporters you when all the liberal WNBA were against you, but can't support someone that is voting for Kamala, whose policies will hurt the future generation's ability to own a house or get a high-paying job. Was just starting to finally pay some attention to the WNBA because somebody was actually worth watching, then you caved. Bae, why are you a Democrat? Them folks told you to shut up and dribble, huh? That's crazy. Crazy. All this over Instagram like.
Do you think Caitlin Clark supporting Kamala Harris, will that break the spell, the hold that Caitlin Clark has on me?
Now here's the part where I say, see? I told you so. This whole time, you told me that it was all about basketball. You just love and admire the way that she plays basketball. No, this has nothing to do with a white star entering a league that is predominantly black and dominating the way. It has nothing to do with trying to reinforce my worldview and me pushing my politics. This has absolutely nothing to do with politics. I've always liked women's basketball. It was latent. Okay, my love of women's basketball was latent and it just blossomed. It just happened to blossom at the same time as Caitlin Clark's jumper. You know, as her range increased, all of a sudden, my natural love of women's basketball, fully matured. Oh no, wait, it gets worse. Now, she was asked about liking the post after the fact.
I have this amazing platform, so I think the biggest thing would be just encourage people to register to vote. I think for myself, this is the second time I can vote in an election. At age 22, I could vote when I was 18, so I think do that. That's the biggest thing I can do with the platform that I have, and that's the same thing Taylor did. And I think continue to educate yourself with the candidates that we have, the policies that they're supporting.
Now, I would also like to add that Caitlin Clark is apparently a Swiftie. She has been pretty much on record of being a big fan of Taylor Swift for a long time, but she is advocating for people to vote. And it's at this point that I would like to quote the great philosopher, Reese Waters. As opposed to honestly trying to attract voters, you engage in voter intimidation and voter suppression. Is there a bigger red flag to your platform than that? You have just ceded there is no way anybody with an operable brain would look at our platform and say, yeah, that's the way I want to go. So I'm just going to make sure that they can't vote. Now I'll put the link to that video in the description, but in that video, I used a burger joint analogy. If we both own burger joints across the street from one another, and I would like to continue that analogy, this chorus that you are hearing from Maga would be like if you got up at town hall and advocated for people to come downtown and enjoy a meal because there are so many places to choose from, it's really a good time. Why don't you give us or any of our other options available a choice? And I get up after the fact and cuss you out. No, we don't need no more people downtown. That's the problem we got right now. It's too much crime going on downtown. It's nowhere to park already. We already got too many people downtown. Now, why would a person who owns a burger joint want less people downtown in the environment of his burger joint, other than the fact that you know that your burger joint is trash and it's just gonna hurt your feelings to see the line across the street? As for Taylor Swift's post, New York Post really is legible kitty litter. It is. I mean, I call it Fox News in print, but it's actually Fox News in print. I'm not saying that to be facetious. I had a whole video all about it. I'll put the link to that in the description. So, oh, really? It hurt. So that's why y'all were chasing that endorsement so bad, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. So to all of you that are heartbroken today because the woman who you lied to yourself and to the public in saying that your affinity for her had absolutely nothing to do with politics or reinforcing your worldview, now having to pick up the shattered pieces of your decrepit black heart, I must ask, who raised y'all? I also would like to send a special shout out and a bit of an apology, a mea culpa of sorts, to all the ladies that are watching, because a few of you have asked me in the past, do you have any WNBA jerseys? Do you have any women's jerseys? And I said that I needed to pick one up. And this would have been the perfect video to pick one up. I went with Steph Curry, A, because Caitlin Clark's game reminds me of Steph Curry, but also because this clearly would have been the perfect moment to throw out a WNBA jersey. Not only do I not have a WNBA jersey, I thought I had all the NBA teams covered. I don't even have an Indiana Pacers jersey because for some reason having a hole in my collection was better than having a Reggie Miller. You know what? I stand by that decision. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and especially those of you that have liked and subscribed to the page. Did y'all know I had a website? I know, it's so kind of old-fashioned these days. Yes, I have a website, ReeseWaters.com. There you'll find my most recent work, but also my past work if you want to know a little bit more about me. You'll also find a portal where you can sign up for my newsletter. You could also sign up by sending me an email at reese@reesewaters.com. You could also send me any suggestions for ideas, something I need to take a look at, or you just want to say hello. And by the way, if you go to the website now, you'll find a little something special. That's right, we got merch. There's mugs there, there's t-shirts there, there's hats there, repping street politics, troubled waters, and of course, Racist of the Week. Where would we be without Racist of the Week? I don't know that I would have any content.